My name's Dave DeBoe, founder of MoneyPartnerFormula.com, and this show is built for everyday real estate investors who are actively doing deals and looking to scale using other people's money. So if you're an active real estate investor and you want to get featured on this show to talk about your own real estate and capital raising experiences, then just go to daveinterviewsyou.com. Now let's get rolling with this episode, and remember to subscribe for daily interview content. Hey, welcome back, folks. Today's zooming in from beautiful Colorado. We have a real estate entrepreneur, full-time real estate investor, Cindy Beier. And Cindy has made the transition from house hacking and doing single family properties. Now she's scaling up into the multifamily space as a general partner. So excited to dive in and see what's up in Cindy's world. Welcome to the show, Cindy.
Thank you, Dave. Thank you for having me.
My pleasure. Can you give us a little overview of what your real estate investing business looks like right now towards the end of the year, 2024?
Yes, I can. Right now, I am raising capital for multifamily syndications, not necessarily in Colorado, but in locations that are doing well and prospering. Colorado is a little higher priced, and some of the things that I'm focusing in on now is low income housing. And there is a need for low income housing. And just because it's low income housing doesn't mean that it's high crime or, bad properties. There's just a need for people to have affordable housing. But it
Kind of
ends
like
up being,
workforce housing.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
that makes a lot of sense. So Cindy, what does the portfolio look like today? What do you have in like how many single family properties? What kind of multifamily projects are you involved in? Give us an idea of that.
I have four single family properties
Mhm.
myself and a short term rental that is east in Colorado. And we enjoy going out there and kind of getting away as well. And it's in a town. It's funny, people say, why does anybody want to go there? And it's booked quite often. A
Hmm.
lot of times we'll have to put ourselves in there to get a spot. So people want to get away, and it's a
Yeah.
small, close-knit town. So I have that. And then I have two properties. One is in Mississippi that I'm a general partner on in Hattiesburg, Mississippi. And the other one right now that we're getting ready to close on very shortly is in Hickory, North Carolina. So it
Interesting.
was um, a little bit behind due to some things with the seller, but we're still raising a little capital there. So that one is a 55 and older community as well as low income. And it's just in wonderful condition. And so we're really looking forward to some really good numbers on this property.
So Cindy, why have you decided to make the transition from being your own boss, being 100% in charge, having single family homes, to partnering up with other people and getting into these general partnerships with apartment syndications?
Yeah.
What's causing that
Well,
shift?
it's just easier. Honestly, bigger is easier. You don't really have as many, you don't like, I don't have my tenant calling me and saying, can you please come and fix this screen door, which I just did the other day. So I had to drive over there. I had to meet the person. I had to meet the contractor and, put them all together. This way, when you have apartments, you're able to hire a full-time property manager that basically does all of that for you.
Mhm.
So it's just less hassle. And that means just fewer issues for you. So it's much more passive than it is being involved in the day-to-day activities of being a single family owner. If you manage your own, which I just prefer to do that.
I would imagine most single family home property owners definitely self-manage their properties. Okay, so I like that saying bigger is easier. So when did you kind of first clue into this, Cindy? When did you kind of make the move over from single family homes into multifamily?
It was about a year ago. I had gone to one of my conferences. I have learned that having mentors and people that are smarter than you is always better. That's how you kind of scale and learn and grow. And so I had gone to a conference with one of the groups I was in, and they had a speaker there who, Mike Ely, and he, was telling us about apartments and how he scaled up and how it's just easier to do that. So I said, hey, I want to learn this stuff. And I joined his mastermind, and I am able to learn so much from him and his group and the people who are in there. And then we all become partners and we all work together.
Mm,
And not just one person, raises the capital. We all raise the capital together, and then we all benefit together.
very, very cool. So it's kind of you were running solo before, kind of like the Lone Ranger, and now you've kind of found your group, you found your tribe, and it feels good to work with other people. Have there been any big adjustments you've had to make becoming part of a team like that, or has it been a pretty smooth transition?
It's been a smooth transition, I would say.
Yeah.
There's so many people that are positive. That's what I love about it. You're surrounded by your people. You're
Mhm.
surrounded by people with the same goals. You speak the same language, and that's always a positive in any industry, I think. Is when you're surrounded by your people, they help you grow and they teach you what not to do. So I think that's been a positive. I really enjoy working with other people.
So maybe for folks that aren't familiar with it, could you maybe explain how these apartment building projects are structured? You talked about that you and some other people are GPs in that. So general partners versus limited partners. Maybe just gives us a big picture overview of how these kind of deals work.
Absolutely, yes. Well, what happens is most people are LPs, they're limited partners, and there's different kind of offerings. There's accredited and non-accredited investors. So, for example, the project we're on now, you can have a limited number of non-accredited investors, which means that you don't have $1 million in assets and you don't make over 200,000 or 300,000 as a couple. So we can only take a limited number of those folks. And so they come in and they invest their money with us and in a syndication. And a syndication is a group of individuals who basically pool their money and purchase a larger property. Most of the time, you and me and the everyday folks, they can't afford to buy an apartment complex. So we take 25, 50, 75, 100,000, whatever it is, and we pool it with other people. And that helps create a bigger investment and a bigger return at the end. So limited partners come in, they invest their money. They don't have to do anything. They just invest their money. We provide the documents that show you what the
So
returns
we
are
being
going
the
to look
general
like.
partners, is that correct?
I'm sorry.
We being the general partners, is that who you're talking about?
Really, it's the operators
Hmm.
and the key principles of the property. I'm a GP because I have brought folks in who have invested in, I've invested myself. But then you have another level above that of the people who are more or less the operators who do the
Mhm.
day to day. I don't even necessarily do that as a GP, but I do meet once a month. I keep my LPs educated and informed on how the progress is going. And if they ever have any questions, I can answer those. But we've got the actual operator. For example, our operator has scaled so that he has his own management company and his own contractors and construction folks. So that way he can decrease the amount of funds that it takes to run these projects, therefore increasing the revenue for the LPs and the GPs.
All right. So basically, there's three groups of people in one of these projects. You've got your passive investors who bring in the money, the capital to purchase the property and perhaps do renovations on those, and those are limited partners, LPs. You've got GPs, general partners like yourself and other people that are part of this who are involved in different aspects of getting things up and running, raising capital, that sort of thing. And then you have the operator, who is the person who is doing the operation. So they are doing construction and renovations, and as well as managing the property once everything's ready. So they're taking care of those 3 a.m. plugged toilet phone calls and dealing with all the tenants, the stuff why you decided to get out of single family homes and into multifamily. Am I getting the gist of it correctly there?
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yes.
Now, what just, if somebody's listening to this, they're probably going, Cindy, sounds interesting, but why? Why invest in something like this versus keeping my money in the bank or investing in stocks or bonds or mutual funds or crypto or whatever flavor the month is going by? Why apartment buildings?
Right. Absolutely. I'm so glad you asked that question because this is a tangible asset. Real estate, that's what I love about real estate. It's a tangible asset
Which
and
which means means what exactly in
it's
layman's
a
terms?
physical thing. It's not like the stock market.
Mm.
You can't, there's not something you can hold, you can touch and feel and see and all that. It's just
Okay.
out
It's a
there,
real
right?
thing, not a piece of paper. Got it.
Right. And so it's tangible. And we know if we look at history, real estate has done nothing but increase in value. Yes, there's some ups and there's downs, but it always, increases. The other portion of this, I'm losing my train of thought. What was the question? I'm sorry.
I guess the big benefits in your
Oh,
mind for
yes.
people to become investors in
Yeah. Well,
apartment
and
buildings.
it's definitely passive. We used to talk about mailbox money, and now basically you just get, a check.
Transfer money now.
Right, exactly. That's one of the things. But it's the thing is one of the things that my group really focuses on again is that low income housing.
Mm.
And part of the low income housing, the tenants receive, a check to help pay their rent. So they're not gonna be able to not pay their rent because they're getting a portion of that, subsidized
So
for
you're talking about like Section 8 type people? Is that what
Section
we're talking
8 and LIHTC, low income housing tax credit. And that's a whole nother thing. We can go into that another time. But
about?
yes, so that's how you work through like a recession or maybe the changing of a president. So these things don't always fluctuate because of that, because we are working on the low income housing. And for example, this 55 and older community, things shouldn't change too much when we have an election or
Yeah.
if there's a recession. Things should
Yeah,
stay
everybody
pretty
always needs a
steady.
place to live, right?
Right.
That's
Absolutely. They need a place to live. And that is the key.
yeah.
Absolutely.
So supply and
Yes.
demand is in your favor.
Right.
Cindy. So one of the things sometimes we like to talk about on the show is raising capital. So it sounds like you've jumped in with both feet into the whole capital raising side of things. Tell me a little bit about how that's how that's been going for you, because that's a big difference from doing your own deals where you're saving up or you're using home equity to purchase your next property. Now you're bringing on these limited partners to join you in these syndications. Tell me a little bit about what that experience has been like for you.
It's been great. I have found my niche. Um, and I am in several different networking groups, and I lead a couple of them just because that's who I am.
Mhm.
And it's just been great. Like I said, I found my niche because I enjoy talking to people. I enjoy showing them how they can benefit from this. And and I just know a lot of people and I end up connecting people here and there. And I get phone calls daily, people asking me, who do you know who can do this? Who do you know who can do that? And I
Mhm.
often refer them out. So in turn, I am able to talk to them about investing and asking them, who else do you know who might want to double their money or increase their investments and be able to retire earlier, maybe, or just on time when they anticipated they were going to retire.
That's a pretty appealing spiel, that's for sure. So awesome, Cindy. Hey, if people are listening to this and they'd like to connect with you, what would be the number one way for them to do that?
They can reach me at my website. It's emeraldpeakholdings.com. And that is my website. And there's some information on there about how to reach me. You can fill out a form. You can get a free ebook, and it explains what an LP is. And then you can reach out on my Calendly and make an appointment with me.
Sounds good. Thanks for being on the show and all the best in the future. It sounds like you're off to a great start in multifamily, Cindy.
Thank you, Dave. I appreciate you having me today.
All right, everybody, take care and we'll see you on the next one. Hey there, I really hope you enjoyed that episode. And as always, if you want to listen to more daily interview content, make sure you subscribe. And if you're an active real estate investor and you're doing deals and you'd like to get featured on this show, then just head over to daveinterviewyou.com. Now at moneypartnerformula.com, we help real estate investors to create a process for predictably getting capital so they can do more deals without relying on hard money lenders or the banks. We do this by building them a private capital marketing system. Now, if you want help turning yourself into a big money capital attraction machine, then book a call with our team to see how we can help. Just visit moneypartnerformula.com to find out more. All right, take care, and we'll see you on the next interview.